Hey, what's up, everybody? We're going to be going through a demo today. And as we go through this old demo of me working in a more traditional way, I want you to keep in mind as you're observing this, look how long it's taking to get this person into like a state of hypnosis, because I'm operating off of old assumptions that they need to be in a certain state to be able to like create change. I want you to notice how in this demo, I'm so focused on performing a technique and induction that all the stuff I'm missing from the client. Okay. And I'll call this out as we go through and start to have fun with it. But again, that's why I'm training now, right? I don't use any of that stuff. I don't use pre-talks. I don't use suggestibility tests. I'm not worried about compliance. I'm not worried about beliefs and imagination or any of that stuff. And again, me, I never talk about those things as if there's anything wrong with them. Just the way I work, all we're doing is catching trance. And I think that makes a little bit more sense when you think about it. If hypnosis is a naturally occurring phenomena, why don't we just catch it as it occurs naturally? This is what I teach hypnotists how to do. There's easy, very simple ways to stimulate this. And when you work that way, there's no resistance. The client doesn't know the session even started. So make sure you go to my YouTube for more. Right here it is. Stop Smoking Specialist, Vincent Bergantz. Let's hop into the video here. I'm going to full screen this. Let's hit play. Oh, yeah. Of course, I did that with the music. Okay, so I told him to focus on his hand. He's realigning his posture. That's cool. His eyes are already on it. I love that. So this is an 8-minute, 56-second clip of a much longer video. Where, we've already done the pre-talk. We've already done all that stuff, right? So here we are into the induction. Keep in mind, this, I'll try not to let this drag on too long, but when we cut those things out, we can work a lot faster. We can get right to the hypnotherapy, help people create breakthroughs. So focus on his hand. And he's focused there. That's cool. And that's kind of cool. You can see his attention drifting inward. And my cat's trying to disrupt the session. But look at this gentleman's attention. It's already in an interesting place there. And then because I'm focused on a technique, I'm just discarding that gift from the unconscious mind. And look how heavy that catalepsy is we put in place. I barely did anything, right? Hand comes up. Now we're destroying that. Look at the speed. That's cool. I'm probably trying to sync up, because I'm working in a traditional way. I'm like, if our movements match and mirror, that's probably a good thing. So that's great. That you can see the head is drifting downward. There we go. Look, you can see the changes in the breathing. These are all things I'm missing because I'm focused on just that hand there. Look at that. As he lifts the hand, the head's moving with it. It's a pretty intense place to be. Now, if I knew what I knew now, I would say, hey, Vin, I think this guy's out. There's a cat rubbing against his leg. His attention seems pretty absorbed, right? So I think at one point I said to him, hey, I want you to find the place in your hand as you think about moving it, as you move it, where do you notice the sensation of movement first? Now, what's clever about that is to retrieve that information, the person has to go inward to a significant amount, right? Because not only are we just focused on lifting the hand, now it's like, okay, where do you first notice that sensation of movement as you lift it? Oh, I think I notice it here, right? So we're really driving this person inward. Then I use some suggestion about a balloon lifting it up, and let's speed this up a little bit. So you can see it starting to lift, a little bit of movement there. There's some more movement. And I'm probably just layering on more suggestions here. You can see the gap between the couch and the hand there. And this continues. Probably the best thing I did here, if I remember correctly, is I at least did something in a content-free way. I think I said something along the lines of when that hand touches your chest, your unconscious mind will give you a gift or a resource that'll help you with this problem, right? So that's good. At least I didn't try to like assume I knew the solution for the client. That's probably something I got right there. And so it looks like this continues for a while. And so you got to ask yourself, though, here we go. We're still partying. We're still going here. Oh, and then I think I'm allowing it to integrate. Yeah. He said, yeah, that was heavy. You could see yeah. And then he describes some type of a vivid. So his mind had some type of a vision during this experience of him taking action. I think it was a business related matter. So anyway, okay. We did all that work to create a state to work in. And again, I just showed you a few clips of an 8-minute, 56-second video. And keep in mind, prior to that, as I said before, we had to do a pre-talk, we had to do some suggestibility tests, we had to fractionate this person, all the traditional things that we do just to lead up to the induction. Then I had to, give suggestions and things like that. What I teach hypnotists to do is quite different. If we know the problem, the real problem is in the unconscious mind, right? If we assume what Milton Erickson said is true, there's a sort of a misalignment between the conscious and unconscious mind. And that person can at least articulate the presenting problem. But the real problem is something we need to discover just by the process of exploring that problem with the client, just asking questions and being curious. What we're doing is inviting that client to begin to drift inward, because they have to retrieve that information. As they retrieve that information, what's really fascinating, not only is there a context now for everything we're doing, and the person can leverage that context to generate new insights about the nature of their problem and their understanding of themselves, which is truly powerful. The unconscious mind has an opportunity to create naturally emergent phenomena. So think about how different that is. Here I'm trying to create hypnotic phenomena. Your hand gets heavier, it gets lighter, it lifts up, right? That's all this work. When you're working in a way where you're just creating a space for that client to create natural emergent phenomena, whatever shows up is unique to that individual, their personality, their situation. We can assume, I think, quite safely that client's unconscious mind knows the problem, that person's personality, and is probably in a better position to create a solution that will work for them. I think that's probably true, right? So to the extent we think that's true, whatever we provide to them, for them, is going to be suboptimal. Right. And look, there's nothing wrong with teaching people tools to cope with situations. That stuff's great. As great as that is, whatever that client generates is going to be more value. And here's an example. I did a stop smoking session a while ago with a lady, and the resource that showed up for her seemed quite insignificant to me, but I'm not her. Right? Now, we were talking about all these different conflicts at work. She works from home. She's so stressed out, etc. And as we explore the nature of the problem, it just kind of dawned on her spontaneously. She's like, I could just sit in that rocking chair over there. I could look at that picture of my grandkids. And you could see this emotional change and shift occur. And I didn't believe her, right? So I started testing her because I wanted to make sure this resource is going to work, right? The most important work happens after the client leaves your office, leaves your Zoom call. It's that integration phase where they start to process the changes, right? Where the stuff moves from, where the integration between the conscious and the unconscious mind occurs. So what I want to do is test these resources. I want to test everything, really. I want to, I'm going to try to break the work we did. So anyway, it was just the most rock solid thing for her. And then, do you want to smoke? No, absolutely not. Why is that? I could just sit in that chair and look at the picture of my grandkids. I have no idea the depth and richness of meaning that had for that person, right? Well, what if you're not here? What if the chair goes away? I'll get another one, right? I can just sit here and think about that. You know, I was doing everything I can to try to destroy that resource, because now it's reinforcing, it's becoming more dynamic. So this is all to say, like, I could have assumed I knew what that client needed, but I really would have no way of knowing. But why would I waste time with that? Why would I guess when I know that person's unconscious mind could just create the resources we need? Let's utilize that and let's integrate it, right? This is a much more simple way to work. So I hope that clarifies a little bit. If anybody's interested, you know, just check out the top of my page wherever we're at here. I'm sure I've got information up about my next upcoming training. If you have questions, DM me. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, and bye for now, everybody. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.